Hi. It's very early. Well, it's pretty early. I got up before the crack of dawn. And we used to call it the ass crack of dawn. I still find that funny, so it shows you where my baseline level of humor is. Yeah, I had something clever to introduce this session with, and I've forgotten it, which is probably a good thing. And maybe, I got a communication yesterday, not out of the complete blue, but it just seemed timely given all the stuff we've been, that's come through in the readings. And in my personal, when I throw for myself as well, which I do probably about once a day. So, for whatever that's worth, sometimes things are synchronous that way. No indication that this is a deep communication, except there were as always this sort of implicit heartfelt message behind the spring has arrived here and I was thinking of you, whatever. Something slightly generic. Behind it is this, unless that's what I read into it. But since there's this connection happening, I think it's not just me projecting it. Whatever's going on. And, I feel pretty calm about it. It's like, there might have to be a bit of revisiting how things closed out. There was one, clash, quasi-clash, and communication resumed after a while, but all on this superficial level. Like for a couple of years we were communicating, not because we weren't in the same place, but the communication was quite rich and real. And as the years went by, it got more and more superficial. It just went backwards, regressively, until we were talking about our various phone, long distance plans. I mean, it was really nutty. But this was a quote I found interesting. Catherine May, same person as I quoted the other day, and she's a journalist. And a writer of some renown, and I think she's a really good writer. But she said of certain situations or conversations, it removes time from the clock face and reveals the greater truth of its operation, its circularity, and its vastness. So, when I look at timing in this relationship, the years that it's been evolving and then devolving and then revolving, all that. It removes time from the clock face. It's, it's outside tick-tock kind of time, which is both a blessing and a torture. Because we're in this linear thing. We've been taught to, think it's starting here, it ought to go there, this very linear progression, and that's not how time goes. I don't experience it that way. I don't think you do either. I don't think anybody, it's a construct that tries to, for convenience, tries to have an agreed upon flan. As it's experienced, it's much more like recursive. It, and there are like backwaters and reverse currents and rapids, and, it's not just like it's not a man-made canal. It's a thing, kind of a living thing with its own, if it runs into an obstacle, it has to go around it, or I just saw the tower. So something outside linear time. Okay. Bottom of the deck, 5 of Cups. Okay, 5 of Cups, Knight of Pentacles. I was going to say Wands, but this is a posture of mourning. It's the cloaked figure who can't look up and out at the world, who only can look down, at these 3 failures. It might have been a relationship where there were 3 times it broke, it bled, still 2, still a connection remaining. And maybe in a way it's a connection to the loss, to the sadness, to missing somebody. And we were talking about time. Here's Knight of Pentacles, the slowest night. Not very careful to not misstep. That's slow enough to be predictable and steadfast and it's not like Knight of Wands who's all over the place. This is a bit linear time. This is the clock face, in a way. It's like tick-tock, how long did it take you to get here? Well, a long time. It's Pentacles energy. That speaks to time. I think whoever this person is, it's an earth energy. It's real. Somebody's coming in, authentically. And therefore, slowly, step by step. They're not skipping any steps in their effort to become real and grounded, and in the time it takes to approach. Because they know, I think they have an understanding that in terms of, they were at a distance. They weren't really there, Pentacles energy. That they let you down in some way. And this roles could be reversed. Or go in both directions, like you let each other down. Well, you were sad that this took so long. In terms of linear time. And this is almost like mourning the loss of time. But this is something where time is removed from the clock face. It's circular. I'll say 10 of Pentacles below 5 of Cups. That's where it goes. So this could be mourning this missed opportunity of establishing, in pentacles, in real terms. This is the realm of the real. It's committing to the long haul. And I think that for this Cups person, full of feelings, they really thought this was a possibility, something that could become actual, real Pentacles energy. But it didn't. And that hurt. After all this time, this person shows up in 3D. They traveled to get here. They've reframed this somehow to a calmer place. They're thinking about it in a less agitated way. They've really slowed it down. But somehow the calmer place, see, Five of Swords is conflict, is trouble in River City. Fives indicate a need for change, and this is the change. This person is moving forward out of conflict, out of some sort of mental craziness. Well, let's put it this way. There was a clash that needed to be resolved, and I think it was in their past situation. And here they are on the move. And this can speak to an actual physical move, which I think it does, because we have the card of the physicality, in space and time, this person is coming forward in a different way. New ability to communicate, new ability to understand what's happened and what might happen. I think they're hoping to move forward to this kind of place. This is a card of going home. What feels like home. Cups energy. This is like homesick. You're in a place of yearning and sadness. So they're coming in slowly but steadily to offer something, pentacle in hand, right? To offer something real at long last. And to say something, to communicate, sword energy, about what they now understand, sword energy. They want this Cups person to understand something, to hear them out. I'm here. I'm actually here. Knock, knock, knock. Clip, clop. I've arrived. And they might be also relocating. Long term, they may be moving to a new place, a new home. Ten of Pentacles speaks to home, to where you establish yourself, where you live, where you spend your time in your life, where you invest in the environment. All Pentacles attributes. Okay, in between Knight of Pentacles and Five of Cups, what's happening on this journey, this slow journey, to address something that went wrong on the level of water, on the level of feelings? Oh boy, I'll say. Seven of Swords. This is somebody I mean, it's a card of the sneak. If this is moving on from a bad situation to something that's clearer and more easily the communication is flowing more. See, we've got the water. They're crossing the water. They're not on the other side yet. And I think this is both, I know, I ducked out on you without explaining, sword energy. I left you kind of high and dry. You didn't understand what I was doing. You just felt abandoned, left alone. And I think this person is coming back slowly to do, some kind of reparation. I'm offering something real now. I also think that it took this person a long time, it was slow going, to get out of a situation. That was no longer it needed to change anyway. Fives indicate a need for change. I think it needed to change because the feelings had changed in this, whatever this person was moving on from. And there's some question, I think, sword energy, like, did this person leave honorably? Because there's a tinge of like shady behavior. Not talking about it, not explaining it, just, getting out. And sometimes this can be necessary. It's a card of strategy. And maybe there was some reason this person couldn't announce that they were gonna leave. Or I hope this person doesn't find out, doesn't know that I'm moving forward with the intention, in the belief, sword energy, that this is the destination, the place. Pentacles speak to, solid ground. This is where I want to go. We've had that a lot. Under Seven of Swords, a High Priestess. Is it High Priestess? Yes. A card of divine feminine, sort of like a womanly intuition without the gender reference. It's a card of high intuition, and I think divine feminine, because it's a moon energy, it's the receptive principle. She knows on that intuitive level that they're on their way. Sword energy, she knows it. She intuits it. And she's not talking about it. I mean, she's not saying to anybody, I know they're coming. I can feel it with my spidey sense. This is the card of the mystic. It's Pisces, Cancer, a little bit of Libra, in the balance of the two, the black and the white. This portal energy. But it's mystical space. It's entering the mystery. So this person who's approaching is not only more calm, they understand sword energy, that they're entering the mystery. The mystery of this relationship, of this feeling of, I'm going home, There's kind of a past life feeling to this. But they haven't told anybody, because it's a secret energy, High Priestess. It's like, I know it, but I'm not talking about it to anyone. But I kind of know they're coming home. They're coming perhaps back to me. There's a old 40 years, 50 years song by Jefferson Airplane. I saw you coming back to me, but saw like this, through the veil, in a way that's inexplicable, to do with the mystery, mysticism, the mystic, all that same root word. I saw you coming back to me. The summer had inhaled and held its breath too long. The winter looked the same as if it never had gone, but through an open window behind the veil, where no curtain hung behind the veil, I saw you. It's like with my third eye coming back to me. Also reminds me a bit of Cold Mountain. Great book, Charles Frazier. I think also a pretty good movie. Where a woman loves a guy who goes off to war before they've really gotten off the ground, and the relationship. So, she's like this. And eventually, the person strategically escapes a conflict, which this person did. They deserted. They were on the side of the Confederates, and they deserted, and they worked their way back to Divine Feminine. And it took a long time because it was in time and space. But the connection was that removes time from the clock face. And while they were apart, she was able to have visions of them. She looked into a well. She was held upside down, sort of hangman, looked into the well and saw a reflection that showed this person coming back to her. They got away from the conflict, and they're coming into calmer waters. And they both are envisioning it, being able to see it, sword energy, with some clarity. They both see through the veil. That they have more to live together, more time. They have more time. On Ten of Pentacles, Knight of Swords. Well, they may have more time, but somebody, whoever did this, snuck out and is now on their way. Sword energy is fast. Like there was a quick decision to get out. Somebody saw the opening and strategically took it. And then there was that slow movement back to their person. But I think things are accelerating. I think this person can see it more clearly. Sword energy knows in that sort of pull, because Divine Feminine is the pull of the moon. It's almost like a magnetic pull. They're being pulled, across the waters. Thinking about it now in a new way, and really wanting to come in pretty fast. And emphatically, like Here I am. I've got something to say. I've traveled to say it. And again, there might be a literal move. It's kind of, wait, I'm coming. It's slow, and there may be some kind of advanced, sort of like the message I got, which wasn't this emphatic or this explicit. It wasn't that clear. It didn't have a whole lot of information. So there's still a lot to be spoken. And this person is still in kind of on their way. They're in a hurry to get to that place, 10 of Pentacles. The place that they intuit is their home. May not be their literal home. Has something to do with pulling back the veil. Because this can be a card of deception and of self-deception. I deceive myself that I could leave this relationship, this Two of Cups relationship's broken. And broken and bleeding. There's blood coming out of these cups. Couldn't do it. Here I come. On 6 of Swords. 6 of Wands. Wands are forward movement. Wands are about energy. This is a card of victory. There's the victory wreath. This person is returning from the battle. They're on the move. They had success. They're willing to be seen as successful. They got their way, Wands energy. They were able to move forward. It's a card of almost like liberating after the battle. We're set free. Free at last. 6 and 6 is 12. 12 is Hangman. It did take some time to be realized, to get real. There were battles to fight. There was a kind of crossing over that needed to happen. The 6 of Swords. And this person might have been fighting to be able to move. But they won. They won the battle for their own freedom. And I think they told the truth after a long time about where they feel like they belong. And they'll tell that to their divine feminine. They did not tell it, however, I don't think, to the person they were ducking out on. And I think you leave a situation strategically kind of looking over your shoulder because you expect something to bite you in the butt. Like, no more conversation, no more hashing this out, no more thinking about it. I'm leaving the broken connection, and I'm going toward the connection, that I left behind, that I want to return to. 6 of Swords. Okay, on that 5 of Cups, that feeling of loss, Queen of Cups. Again, principally water energy, Pisces, Cancer, also a bit of Libra, bit of Virgo, bit of every divine feminine. That same water energy of High Priestess. Somebody who's highly intuitive, knows what they feel and can kind of peek back behind the curtain to intuit what the other person feels and what they're doing about it. They're moving. They've won the battle to be able to start crossing over out of this sort of hangman suspension, picking up speed from Knight of Pentacles to Knight of Swords, because they have something they really want to say. It's like time may be removed from the clock face, but for, this person feels like it's been a long time, 10 of Pentacles, and now I have something to say. On High Priestess, Page of Wands. I've won the struggle, 5 of Wands. I'm successful, the battle's over. And Page of Wands, a kind of curiosity now about where can we take this. Wands are Page of Wands, the new direction, the road untraveled. So there's, come in slowly, and now, where do we take this? But we're walking a path that's real, and it's to do with how we live our lives. This person wants to walk, where intuition leads. They kind of want to follow the pull of this divine feminine. I think they really trust her. This is kind of a card of a situation that was lacking in trust. Somebody looking back over their shoulder to see who might be following them. And I think they may have deceived this Queen of Cups. And this is also like a card of deep regret. Almost being immobilized by regret for some kind of, because this is a bit shady, right? Had to get out, but didn't do it in a transparent way. But they miss this Queen of Cups, this High Priestess person. And whatever it is they're going to talk about, it has to do with their feelings. Coming out of, they've processed their feelings, that hangman energy. On High Priestess, 4 of Swords, card of healing. A card also of not talking. The sword energy, the talking business, the trying to understand in an active way, to talk out a problem, that's not happening here. Some healing needs to take place in the realm of communication, sword energy. This is almost like waiting out Mercury retrograde. But, yeah, this person definitely has something to say. There's kind of a hold-up. And it might be this person needs to heal their intuition. Because I think they're coming in, but they don't know what to expect. They don't know. They're in a calmer place where they can think about it. And perhaps neither person can talk about it. The divine feminine can't say blah, blah, blah. She's not a blah, blah, blah person. She's not going to tell this person, sword energy, how to heal. It's something they need to understand, sword energy, for themselves. They need to get quiet so they can hear the message. Come to an understanding of how to talk and what's true. And I like it that there are two cards of not talking. One on the level of the psyche, I can't explain the mystery to you. And one on the level of 3D. I'm in a passive posture and I'm not talking. I've been healing. That's the emotional work, the water work that I've been doing. High Priestess, Queen of Cups. I've been healing. I've been in mourning for a time. That needed to change. And there might have been something like, I'm no longer deceiving myself about the fact that you left me without saying anything. But this person runs right into somebody who's approaching on a new path, Page of Wands. It's really nice. The energies are going woo woo back and forth, but there's a mesh. It sort of makes sense. Whatever the syntax, time is off the clock face. And apparently, so are the messages. It's not all about what's going to be said, but things are going to be said. And yet this is a kind of cyclical, the greater truth of its operation, its circularity, and its vastness. This is kind of a card of vastness. So, both in time and outside time. Like too big, really, to be contained in Pentacles. This is the 10 card, the end of a cycle. Like, there's a need for expansion going forward. But there's also a need to get on with it. Seven of Pentacles, and I just got an image of somebody whose mouth was sewn shut. Maybe in this past situation, Seven of Swords. They couldn't talk there. They were on the down low somehow. Death card. Complete transformation. I think, they had to get out of a situation that was all about sadness. That needed to change. They needed to sneak away if necessary because they were emotionally drawn to this Queen of Cups, this High Priestess person. And whatever they left behind, they couldn't do it until they transformed. On an emotional level, they had to put an end to something. And maybe it was an established relationship or their old home or like their family home. This is sort of like has the vibe of an estate, a long established, because this can be a card of family and of home, a long established family home. In any case, this person has undergone the transformation called for in the Five of Cups, needed to change. And again, this change, right? The horse riding the horse of transformation. can't do it lickety-split. Like you might be able to get out of a situation fast if you don't talk about it. But moving forward, you've got to heal the ability to talk when it matters most. 10 of Pentacles. About what you need, about what you value. No longer deceiving oneself or anybody else. It's like coming to Jesus moment. It's changed. I'm on a new path. You know, I'm finally coming forward. I've not done this before. It's not familiar to me, Page of Wands. It makes me feel young. This I often see as a card of the man boy, which I didn't even know was a common expression. The man boy is growing up, Pentacles, and it took a while. It took a while. 7 of Pentacles. Yeah, this is a card of evaluation. What has this time and effort resulted in? What's the crop? What's the harvest? Is this enough? You know, is what I'm offering now enough? Enough to build on, enough to sustain us? Well, it's really different from this energy. That's like bugging out. You know, that's ducking out. That's ducking out to put an end to something and to sort of sneak out. But there was that transformation, and we have 7 of Swords, 7 of Pentacles, from ducking out of a situation to really working hard to grow it. That's a big turnaround. And from this mental bullshit to like a real investment, putting time and effort into something. 7 and 7, 14. 14 is temperance, divine timing. Taking time off the clock face. There was a stuck energy. And this can be a card of holding back, also of hanging on. And it might be like, I don't want to lose this thing. I want to invest. I want to spend time growing it. You know, I was stuck, I was holding back, but I was also holding on, perhaps behind the scenes. You know, well, let's see. Yeah, I want to communicate. I want a lively conversation, heartfelt. You know, this is a bit cold. This is like the announcement, the emphatic, here I am, I want to talk. But here it goes back and forth. These messages. Back in the flow. You know, holding back? No, I'm working on that. 7 of Cups. I've grown up. I've matured. And I'm ready for this kind of rapid fire, because wands are fast. Again, it's speeding up. It's as if the numbers on the clock face start to go faster based on a conversation that takes time off the clock face. Oh yeah, this is really long. Time, 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 time. I tend to fret about it too. Okay, and there's a bunch. Oh, geez, stop. That's too many. Well, it's sort of like time slipping away. King of Swords. Clear communication. You know, and it's sort of like I've thought about this a long time and I have something to say now. About the conflict that I've moved away from. 5 of Swords to 6 of Swords. This is like people taking sides, communication going off the rail. You know, I say this, you say that. It's a clash. It's a battlefield, right? Where there are winners and losers. Winner and losers. It's like, nya, nya. It's unkind. And then somebody sneaks away. We've got the 5, the 6, and the 7 of Swords. The 4, the 5, the 6, and the 7 of Swords. So there's this natural progression through these conversations maybe, or an evolution of how people see, how the two people see this relationship and what they feel about it. Something stood in the way. And this person may have had to fight for, I'm hearing fight for the right to speak or fight for the right to party. That's sort of weird. On 6 of Wands, 9 of Swords. Yeah, I mean, there was anxiety for sure. Somebody up in their head. You know, I'm on my way. And I may have pulled up stakes to move. And I came out of my stasis successfully. But there's a bit of like, now what? Time is back on the clock face, tick tock. You know, how fast do I need to go, Sword energy? But clarity has been achieved. You know, the person has, okay, stop it. The person has gotten enough clarity to know, Sword energy, that it's time. It's go time. Oh, man, I keep seeing it. It's go time. King of Swords. You know, if there was a question about new path, I don't really know. I'm just a man boy. I'm growing up, though. Knight of Pentacles. I've transformed. Death card. On the level of feelings. That's scorpionic energy. You know, there's no going back. I've left a situation, kind of looking over my shoulder, not really knowing where I was going, but there's no going back. I'm going toward my Queen of Cups, my High Priestess. This is a card of looking toward the future and somebody waiting. I think this is, you know, it's taken a long time for this King of Wands / King of Swords to really manifest this. This is the future they want. King of Wands, I want it, I'm going for it, and then kind of, where is it? You know, it's time to begin. I'm going to make the leap. Fool, in that same Aries energy, in that same wand energy. I know what I want. I know what to do. King of Swords. I need to make the leap. And maybe this person has already made the leap because they've moved. 6 of Swords, they've moved forward. It scares them, 9 of Swords, but they're doing it. They're a bit apprehensive. And Fool would be. I mean, it's like a leap in faith. That they're leaping toward the future. That they've been intuitively led toward this High Priestess person. Judgment. I mean, this is a kind of judgment call. You know, it's a decision to accept your new life. There's the call of the angelic alarm clock saying, you know, die and be reborn. Outside the realm of time, this is on the level of the psyche. Wake up. Wake up to the new life. Take the new path. Adopt Fool's energy, King of Wands, King of Swords. You know what to do. You know it, King of Swords. What to do, King of Wands. Step into your fire energy, your fire in the belly, and go ahead and manifest what you want to come in. It's coming in fast. In Wands energy, it's coming in fast. And this is sort of like echolocation. You know, I know where to go, and I'm going home. For the long term. Like, this is almost like till death do us part and then some. Because there's this second life business rising out of the coffin. To be new, Fool energy, for the next round. Yowza. Long time coming, long time talking about it. But this is outside the realm of time, basically. This is that circular, vast realm, beyond time, and beyond space. Dig it. Thanks, guys. Subscriptions are inching up. If you'd like to subscribe, if you like the channel, if you like the messages you hear that are coming out to you, you know, this conversation we're having, you know, back and forth, don't think you're not contributing to it, because you are. You might want to subscribe. It's free. It just is a yes. It's a yes. Just say yes. It's not a just say no situation, I don't think. Okay, ladies and gents, I'll see you next time.